Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. I hope you're sitting down because the latest whispers around the NFL are shaking things up in a big way, especially for the Chicago Bears. Rumors are swirling that the Bears, sitting at a 3-5 record with about $11 million in cap space, have made a bold move, one that could redefine their defensive backfield and potentially reshape their entire season. And all of this revolves around none other than Derwin James, the standout safety from the Los Angeles Chargers. Yes, you heard that right. The Bears are reportedly in talks to acquire James, a player who's been one of the most versatile and impactful safeties in the league over the past several seasons. And according to sources, this deal could be finalized for the 2026 third-round pick. This move, if it comes to fruition, is massive. Derwin James is not just any safety. He's an all-pro caliber player, consistently recognized for his exceptional coverage skills, his ability to contribute in the box, and his knack for making game-changing plays. Since entering the league, he's been a cornerstone for the Chargers' defense, earning Pro Bowl honors in 2024 and being ranked as high as 9th among the NFL's top 100 players for 2025. His stats speak volumes: over 500 career tackles, 15 interceptions, 40 pass deflections, and 12 sacks. An incredible blend of coverage, tackling, and pass-rushing ability. In 2025 alone, he posted 71 tackles, 1 interception, and 5 sacks, despite dealing with injuries like an ankle sprain earlier in the season. But even with those setbacks, James remains a game-changer, especially considering his overall impact rating, which hovers around 77, 2 in coverage and 71, 0 overall according to PFF. Now, what would this mean for the Bears? Well, it's not just about adding a star safety. It's about transforming a defense that's been solid but not quite elite into one that could rival the best in the league. The Bears have been working diligently to improve their secondary, especially after losing Gardner Johnson to free agency, and bringing in James would be a massive upgrade. His versatility, lining up on 82% of snaps in man coverage, would perfectly complement the emerging talents like Brisker, who already has 4 interceptions this season. The pairing of James and Brisker could create a back end that's not only tougher to attack, but also capable of generating turnovers at a rate that could lift the Bears' overall defense into the top tier. But this move isn't just about individual talent, it's about the strategic shift it signals. The Bears are clearly positioning themselves as a team not just in rebuild mode, but in contender mode, especially with a defense that could see an increase of over 18% in versatility and sacks potentially pushing beyond 40 as a team. Imagine that. The ability to pressure quarterbacks more consistently, force turnovers, and flip games with big plays. This kind of upgrade could be the difference in tight divisional battles, particularly against their rivals like the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions. The Lions, with a 6-2 record, are currently leading the NFC North, but if the Bears can bolster their defense with a player like James, they could turn the division upside down. Now, let's talk about the Chargers for a moment because, honestly, this is a team that's in a bit of a rebuild themselves after parting ways with head coach Jim Harbaugh and shifting focus toward youth and cap management. The Chargers are sitting at 5-3 and are trying to stay competitive in what's become a very crowded AFC. They're also trying to free up some cap space, about $11 million, to bolster their offensive line, which has been a concern, especially when it comes to protecting their quarterback or creating more running lanes. Trading Derwin James, who's valued at a $16 million cap hit for 2025, is part of that broader strategy to reset and build for the future. The Chargers, with their current odds of plus 1,800 to win the Super Bowl, are looking to stay competitive while also managing their cap and roster. Moving James can free up around $27 million in cap space, which the Chargers could leverage to address other needs, perhaps even make a splash in free agency or the draft. But for the Bears, this is more than just a cap move. It's about raising their defensive profile substantially. Think about it. The addition of James, combined with the presence of Brisker, could create a secondary that's not only stingy but also opportunistic. Experts project that with this pairing, the Bears could be looking at more than 10 interceptions combined, a significant boost considering their previous totals. Plus, James's ability to blitz and generate sacks, his career average of 12 sacks, could help increase the team's total sacks beyond 40, which would be a huge boost for a defense that's been middle of the pack at best. Looking at the bigger picture, the impact on the Bears' overall team performance could be profound. Their defensive ranking, which currently sits around 18th, could skyrocket into the top 10, similar to what we saw during the peak of the Chuck Pagano era when their defense was among the league's best. And if you think about the potential for the Bears to make a serious push in the playoffs, acquiring a player like James could be the critical piece that turns their season around. Their offensive side, led by Justin Fields, has shown flashes of brilliance and potential, but it's their defense that's been the missing piece to becoming a true contender. With added safety depth and playmaking ability, the Bears could reduce their points allowed from around 24 per game to closer to 19, giving their offense more opportunities to control the game and improve their win-loss record. And let's not forget about the historical context. The Bears have been looking for that elite safety to elevate their secondary, and James could very well be that guy, an X-factor who can change games, turn the tide in close contests, and provide leadership in the backfield. His presence might even inspire the younger players on the roster, like Brisker, to elevate their game knowing they're paired with a top-tier talent. The potential for this duo to generate over 10 interceptions combined, along with increased sacks and forced turnovers, could be what finally pushes the Bears back into playoff contention and beyond. Now, looking ahead, the odds for the Bears to contend for a Super Bowl have been slowly improving, especially if this acquisition goes through. Currently, their odds are around plus 6,000, but with the addition of a player like James, those odds could tighten significantly, possibly even down to plus 3,800 or better. The NFL is a league where one or two key moves can dramatically change a team's trajectory, and this could be one of those moves for the Bears. They're not just building for the now, they're laying the groundwork for a sustained run, and the addition of a safety like Derwin James would be a statement to the rest of the league that they're serious about competing at the highest level. In terms of rivalry and divisional implications, beating the Packers or Lions would become even more challenging with a fortified secondary. The Bears could become more resilient against aerial attacks, especially considering that the Packers have a dynamic passing game and the Lions have some of the league's most explosive receivers. James's ability to shut down key threats and contribute to a more aggressive pass rush could make the Bears a nightmare for their division rivals. And if they can turn close games into wins, that could be the difference between missing the playoffs and making a deep run. To sum this all up, what we're looking at is a potential game changer. The Chicago Bears are on the verge of acquiring one of the league's most versatile safeties, and this move could have ripple effects across the entire franchise. It's about upgrading their defense, boosting their chances of winning tight games, and finally giving their fans a reason to believe that a Super Bowl isn't just a distant dream, but an achievable goal in the near future. The combination of Justin Fields' development, their improving offense, and now this defensive upgrade could be the perfect storm that puts the Bears back on the map as legitimate contenders. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Are you excited about the possibility of Derwin James in navy and orange? Do you think this move could be the spark that finally gets the Bears back into the Super Bowl conversation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Chicago Bears. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Chicago Bears news. Thanks for hanging out, and as always, bear down.